I'm here today with Canelo, and I'm in my favorite bareback saddle because we're working on some saddle fit issues for Canelo with the other saddles that I have available. So I'm going to do this little demo for you on how to bring the proprioceptive exercises that we've been practicing into the saddle. And two of them are very direct. So the first one, we were practicing doing the movements with your individual fingers. So what might be a good time to bring this into the saddle? Let's say you're riding and there's something that you're needing to do with your reins. Maybe you're working on a circle and you're needing to be a bit more precise in your use of the inside rein, for example, in asking for a little bend and releasing. Maybe it's you're having trouble being steady with your outside rein because your hand keeps dropping down or it keeps drifting too far forward. Take that hand, that troublesome hand, and see if you can do this little proprioceptive exercise. You can do it as you're walking. You can stop completely if you need to, and even use your other hand like we practiced in the class to help to keep the other fingers still as you move. But do the exercise pretty much just like you did in the class, and then repeat what you're working on in your riding and see if you can feel a difference. So that's the first way to use it. The second way is we've been doing some work with feet, being able to move your toes more independently. And there's so many times, even before I learned to do this movement as part of my movement practice outside of riding, there's so many times I would tell riders if I saw they were bracing in the stirrup or they were getting really tight in their leg to wiggle their toes in their boots. When we can bring more awareness to our feet, it's very calming. And when we're standing on the ground, they call this part of grounding. So we're literally bringing our awareness to how we're meeting the ground. When we've got a stirrup, and I'm demonstrating this bareback, but especially when we've got a stirrup, that contact with our foot in the stirrup is part of that grounding. So what you can do is the same thing. You can just make sure your foot is light enough in the stirrup that you can move your toes, and then just see, can you wiggle your toes? Can you spread your toes and bring them back together? And can you even move individual toes inside of your boot? If you don't have enough space in your boot to move your toes, you need a bigger boot. This is another one of my complaints about a lot of riding footwear is the riding footwear squishes the toes too much. Your classic pointy-toed cowboy boot, or even many of the English paddock boots are really small at the front and they squish the rider's toes, and you're not going to have good foot function. We need our foot and the bones in our foot to be able to spread as we're meeting the stirrup, just like when we meet the ground. Okay, so that's number two, is do your little proprioceptive movement with your toes. Now a bonus one, this has to do with proprioception and where our body is moving in space, but it's also bringing in the eye work for balance. So remember, we did following your finger with your eyes. If you're having trouble with one direction with steering, let's say I was having a challenge with steering left, and I was finding that I'm doing something like this where I'm pulling with the rein, but my body's going the other way, or I'm oversteering and throwing my weight too far to the direction I want to go. What you can do is with one finger out, look at your finger and follow it with your eyes. Then remember, close your eyes, bring your finger back to the center. Do the same thing again. Do this 5 times, following your finger. Close your eyes for a moment to rest, and then go ride your circle again. You can also take this from just doing the eye movements into looking with your head, so relaxing the rest of your body and just moving your head over. And then you can even turn through your torso and your shoulders as well. So 3 ways to bring these exercises to the saddle. Enjoy. I'll see you in the next class.